Hey guys, it's Yanni here, and today's video I'm going to be talking about cheap, affordable Canon lenses for portrait photography. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so I have two different types of Canon lenses with me today. Well, to tell you the truth, these are the only lenses that I have in my kit in terms of portrait photography, because I cannot afford the higher expensive high-end ones, which I'll talk about later. So these ones are the ones I have now, and to me, I am happy with it. I am very critical when it comes to photography, so I know the quality and I know the type of photo that I want from a lens, and so far they work best. So first we have here the Nifty 50, that fantastic plastic fantastic Nifty 50 affordable cheap prime lens. So first of all, when we're talking about portrait photography here, I would always recommend using a prime lens. If you are serious about your portrait photography, prime lens is the way to go. So if you are a portrait photographer, always go for a prime lens. That's my best tip. Okay, so the first prime lens that I have here that I always use for my portrait photography is the Canon 50mm 1.82 lens. This is not the USM lens, this is not the L series lens. It's one of the cheapest lenses that Canon carries. I'm not sure if they still carry it, but when I bought this 4, 5, 6 years ago, they had it. You can check the website. I bought it for around $100. You know what? I don't think they have it anymore. They have the STM lens now, the 50mm STM lens. But 6 years ago they had it, and when I was shopping for my first prime lens, this was the first one I saw, and people were talking highly about this lens, so that's why I got it. And it was only $100. So I live in Canada, and Canadian dollar, I probably bought it for around $120. So if you live in the US or the UK, you probably be paying for it for around $99 or $100 based on what I saw online. What I like about this lens is it's very small, it's very light, it's very compact, as you can see. To me, it does the work, okay? It's very good. It's very sharp as well. It's very fast focusing. The optics of this lens are great. That's what I read from the blogs online and the other YouTubers. If this is your first time going into portrait photography and you need a good portrait lens, a very affordable, cheap portrait lens, I would highly recommend this lens. But what I don't like about this lens is never ever use this for landscape photography. Downside. The downside about this lens is it's very noisy when it's focusing. So I wouldn't recommend this using for videos when you are a vlogger, a beauty guru, because the microphone of your camera will pick up for sure the motor of this lens. Especially when you have the 80D, which has autofocus capability, it will definitely catch, the microphone of your camera will definitely catch this motor. It's very noisy. But other than that, it's very good for photos, and that's pretty much mainly what I do. Photography. I don't do a lot of videos, so it doesn't bother me, and it gives me a lot of nice bokeh background, and it's 1.8 aperture. I wish I had the 1.4 or the 1.2, but like I said, they're expensive. I'm still saving up for that. Watch out. If I buy one of those lenses, probably the 50mm 1.2 L series lens, I will for sure make a YouTube unboxing video for you guys. So comment down below, like this video if you'd like me to do that kind of videos. Anyway, next lens. Yeah, you guessed it. It's another prime lens. This one is the 85mm 1.8 Canon lens. I think this one is the USM lens. So I believe there is a 50mm version in this lineup from Canon, but since I already got the 50mm, I decided to go for the 85mm, and this one retails for about $350 or $345, around that range, $300 to $400. But yeah, it's pretty much the same thing as the 50, but instead it's in 85mm focal length, which I like. Both of these lenses, like I said, are 1.8, but the 50 only has 50mm and the 85 obviously has 85mm, meaning you can get much better bokeh buttery background out of the 85mm because it's closer to your subject than the 50. I will insert photo samples of the 85mm. There's nothing really much I can say about it. It's a lot heavier than the Nifty 50 for sure. I think there's a lot more glass or motor in this one. It has a metal mount. The 85 has metal mount, as you can see right here, and the 50 has just a plastic mount. So yeah, that's why it's a little bit more expensive, I think. Like I said earlier, I'm saving up for the L series lenses. Maybe I'll buy the 50 first because everybody needs a 50. That's why I first recommended the 50mm 1.8 because everybody needs a 50 in their kit. No matter what 50 it is, everybody needs a 50. Okay, so especially this one, Nifty 50. You know what? Did you hear that? That's why it's so cheap. That's why they call it Nifty 50 Fantastic Plastic. So if you're looking for a starter prime lens for your portrait photography, I would highly recommend this. It's very, very cheap. I started my career pretty much took off with this lens. Like, me and this lens, we've been through a lot. It's so cheap, but it brought me a lot of dollars. Okay, so I would highly recommend checking this lens out if you are saving money or if you don't have a lot of finances right now for your photography. And photography is expensive, so be smart on your purchases. So after this lens, you can either get the 85mm, another prime lens. I'm only talking about for those of you guys who are serious in portrait photography, okay? It's a lot nicer, your image are gonna be a lot sharper if you use the prime lenses. And yeah, that's just my aesthetic too. For my portrait, I want a lot of buttery bokeh background. So yeah, check out the prime lenses if you wanna get started in your portrait photography. Okay, so there you have it. That's it for this video. It's very short, but like I said, check out the 50 and check out the 85 depending on your preference. If you have a crop sensor camera, you might want to go for 50 because in a crop sensor, a 50 is not really a 50. It's probably around 75 or 85 anyway. And in a crop sensor, 85 is probably around 100 or 90. So just depending on your camera as well, take them into consideration. But I would highly recommend 50. 50, you should go for the 50 first. Like, why would you say no to this? It's only $100, it's 50mm, it's very light, and everybody needs a 50mm, and it's 1.8 as well. It's very great for bokeh buttery background. So that's what a lot of YouTubers use. That's why you notice a lot of YouTubers have a lot of nice bokeh background, especially the beauty gurus. So check it out. So that's it for this video. Thank you all for watching as always. This video, by the way, is part of the What Lens Do I Use For ... series, by the way, that I did a couple months ago, a while back ago. I haven't gotten a chance to do a second video for that series because I've been so busy this month. I've had a lot of weddings. If you want to see a lot of my wedding work, just head down to the description box down below. I will link my website, my Instagram, Facebook, and other social media. So yeah, I've been so busy this month, and this is the only time I've gotten a chance to sit down and talk about the next video of the series. So if you haven't seen the first video of the series where I talked about the lens that I use for wedding photography, check that out. I will also link that in the description box down below. So that's it for this video. Thank you all for watching as always, and if you like this kind of video, just make sure to thumbs up and subscribe to this channel for more video about photography tutorials and photography related topics, and comment down below what kind of videos you would like me to do next, and I will try to do them for you guys. So I'll see you all next time.